We always have multiple ways to record, just in case one of them fucks up, which is quite common. Sometimes the Twitch will be fucked up, or the Skype will be fucked up, or it's always something. So I like to have 3 different ways it's recording. Just
you guys really thought about this.
I hope so. It's been like 3 years. This nonsense.
Fixing the bugs, getting the bugs out.
Yeah, there we go.
3 years later.
Yes, we're an extended beta.
After the first episode where the audio unsynced itself, and it took me like 3 days to clip every fucking word that I said, I was like, never again.
No.
Not fun.
Yeah.
I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
No soup for you.
Don't touch that dial, adjust those bunny ears, because what time is it, Jay?
It's time to sitcom my face. I'm Jay, that's Nick, and tonight we have a special guest, Mr. AJ Sabin. What's up, buddy?
Ooh.
Hey, everybody, how we doing?
You and we worked on a film many moons ago. I think you're the only person from that film I kept in contact with, because you were pretty chill.
I thought you were going to say alive.
We're second there.
Well, if Jay Sherman of tonight's show we're about to talk about saw the film you and I did together, what would he say? It stinks. Oh.
And what film was this, AJ?
Yeah, what was the name of that movie?
Oh man. So we were in...
Actually, maybe we shouldn't say it. I don't want people to find it.
Remake, isn't it?
What's that?
It was like a remake of the Zombies.
Yeah, it was a very bad zombie movie that tried to steal from an 80s classic. I don't know. I don't even want to say it just because I don't want people to find it.
Okay.
You can do your own research. You want to watch that shit. I mean, but hey, I made friends with AJ out of it, so that's good, right?
Awesome. Good things do come out of crappy movies. No.
Yes. So tonight we're talking about the show The Critic, which ran for a whopping 23 episodes over
on 2 different networks.
2 networks, ABC and Fox, correct?
Correct.
Is it 2 networks time?
Yeah. ABC canceled it and Fox picked it up.
Yep. Yeah, ABC got 13 episodes, the half season that it was on ABC, and then Fox picked it up the next season for 10 episodes and summarily rip.
I don't know if you've ever heard of this show called The Simpsons, but The Critic was created by 2 guys who worked on The Simpsons forever. They're still there, I think.
Yeah.
Al Jean and Mike Reese.
Correct. Al Jean, Mike Reese. Actually, you even had, what's his name? James L. Brooks doing work on this show.
Yeah, at the end of The Simpsons, you always see the Gracie films with the theater and the shh.
Mm-hmm.
That's James L. Brooks, who also produced other shows we've talked about on this podcast.
Correct.
Including what? Taxi, Mary Tyler Moore?
Yes, some great shows.
But those were before the Gracie films, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely before Gracie films. You had some great voice artists, and you also had artists such as the music was done by the same composer that does The Simpsons, Alf Clausen, and
composed the classic Simpsons theme, correct?
Correct. And then you also had Hans Zimmer do the actual theme song. Hans Zimmer of many movie soundtracks and scores. He did the theme for The Critic. And also you had, as a writer and a... what was he? Executive producer? Let me just look at my thing here. I believe
Anthony Weiner. No looking at your
producer,
thing on stream.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah, there's a couple notable writers on this show we'll talk about. Yes. Actually, AJ, I want to ask you: had you ever seen this show before I brought it up to you?
You know what? I do remember. It. Like, what was that? That Sinbad movie. Like everybody has a memory of it, but never
Sam or
the one that didn't exist.
Jingle All the Way.
I'm not sure.
Are you talking about like Kazam or whatever the fuck they thought was the Genie movie?
Yeah,
that didn't exist.
Him. And everybody said like it never got released or it was never this, that, and the other.
Yeah, it was never made.
It was never made.
That's one of those Mandela effects they talk about.
I remember seeing like 28th Street like showtimes and all that stuff for it. But no, I do remember having like a small memory about this when I looked it up. But yeah, no.
I feel like it may have aired for a minute on like late night Comedy Central and reruns and maybe even like what was the Cartoon Network Adult Swim? Did it ever air there? It seemed like it would fit there.
I think it did.
I wouldn't because most of this is American made. This is from the U.S., California or whatever. Most of the
well, Futurama and all that was on Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
Yep.
Futurama was on Adult Swim.
Yeah, they're the ones who renewed it the first time, I think.
Yeah, they're the ones that helped the first comeback.
Yeah, Futurama's been dead and gone about 3 times and resurrected, I think.
Yep.
Now it's on Hulu.
That's nuts. Yeah, no.
Which makes it, I guess, an ABC property now.
We need to figure out how all that stuff works anyway. I know somebody owns all of it. Yeah,
this was actually a show I remember vaguely seeing it on TV. As we said, it only ran 23 episodes on 2 different networks. Of course, I remembered the Simpsons episode, which we'll touch on a little bit later, where the main character from the Critic guest stars, Jay Sherman on The Simpsons. But I actually really remember it from when the DVD set came out. I do have it somewhere. I could not find the fucking DVD set. It's probably in my storage unit. So I watched it on Tubi.
You couldn't run your DVDs through your Xbox One.
You couldn't play it. You couldn't play it.
Yeah, what the
Curse
fuck?
you, Xbox One!
First, Microsoft says they're getting rid of our Skype that we use here to record, and then I can't play a goddamn DVD on my Xbox One S. What the fuck, dude?
Right.
Technology is against you, Jay.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I remember I bought the DVD set. Like, this was back when I used to be at Circuit City. Kids, Circuit City, look it up.
Oh.
I used to be at Circuit City every Tuesday buying all the new releases. So
nice.
I remember walking out of there going, yay, I get to rewatch this.
When it moved to Fox, actually, it got paired right after The Simpsons for 5 episodes, and then they switched the time slot, and that was the death knell.
Yeah.
So you want to go through the cast? Did you recognize any of the voices? Actually, I want to know before you looked it up, because there's a few voices on here that are very
definitely.
Yeah. Did you, AJ? Did you look at the voice actors at all?
Oh hell no. No.
So did you recognize any of the characters' voices, having just watched it?
No, just the main guy. Just the main guy.
Jon Lovitz was as Jay Sherman, the film critic.
Basically, what made sure that I knew I had that memory of this show. The higher pitched voice. I was like, oh, that's annoying. So,
Jon Lovitz, of course, of SNL, many years there.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah. The son. The whole time I was watching this, I had totally forgot. To most people, the son's voice probably sounds like Chucky Finster from Rugrats, because that's exactly the same voice. But to me, I don't know if you guys watched this show, but it was fucking Goslin from Darkwing Duck. Same fucking voice as well. Darkwing's daughter. And I was like, the whole time, that's all I could hear was Goslin.
Some throwbacks. They need to remake Darkwing Duck.
What was that, Kavanaugh? The son's voice?
Oh,
something Kavanaugh.
It was Christine Kavanaugh.
Yeah, she has actually passed away. They have a new Chucky these days because she died.
Yeah.
Which I think the Rugrats is still going, right? Isn't there new versions of the Rugrats on now?
Possibly.
And of course, Maurice LaMarche is on this show as well as Jeremy Hawk.
That one I remembered and also picked him out right away. on some of the voices because he does a famous Orson Welles impersonation. Because if you ever watched Pinky and the Brain, the brain is based on Orson Welles.
He's also Kiff on Futurama, and he's like the alien news anchor
Morbo,
too. Right?
The news monster.
Yep. So I always recognize his voice. Nancy Cartwright, of course, famously Bart Simpson herself, is the voice of his sister.
Yeah,
Margot.
In fact, like Nancy Cartwright was very happy to do this because she would be doing the voice of a girl
for the first time ever.
Yeah.
AJ, do you know why most young boys in cartoons are played by women?
Oh yeah,
because their voice hasn't changed. Their voice won't change because they're fucking women. Yeah, if you get a young boy, look what happened with like Harry Potter, where they're like, oh, we did one movie and now he looks like he's 30. What the fuck?
No. What happened? Best example is that Bran Stark from Game of Thrones between season 3 and 4 when he just grows.
Yeah,
it's like 6 feet, bro.
Bran the Broken. Oh wait, oh no, hold on a second. He's Bran the
Broken.
Much bigger.
that terrible Rob Zombie Halloween too. The boy from the first one, they wanted to do a flashback in the sequel like a year later, and he had grown like a foot and a half. They're like, we're gonna recast you, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna have to kneecap you or recast you.
They do like a Tim Conway Dorf on golf, and they just put him put some shoes on his knees or something. Oh yeah, also Garrett Graham as Franklin Sherman.
Yes,
his father,
nutty father in this show.
Judith Ivy as Eleanor Sherman, his mother, and then probably my favorite character on the show, Charles Napier.
Yes,
as Duke Phillips, his boss, Jay Sherman's boss.
And where do people remember Charles Napier from there, Jay?
Oh, he's in that great movie, The Goods. He's Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Actually, if you've ever seen any movie, he is probably the captain, the sergeant, the mayor, the general. That's him. The cop. That's him.
In fact, with Austin Powers, he's in, I think, at least 2 or 3 of them, and he plays different roles, but all general, sergeant.
That's funny.
If you look at his IMDb, it has his top ones are Silence of the Lambs, Rambo: First Blood 2, Austin Powers, The Blues Brothers, Archer. The Goods is actually up there. Wow, what the fuck? That's a terrible movie. But yeah, what would you say was his most famous role?
Well, I know him also, especially the Silence of the Lambs. There, he kind of makes a bit of a, or I should say, Hannibal makes a statement with him.
Yeah, and he's one of those actors too. We always talk about serious actors going into comedy.
Mm.
He played the straight man for so long. It's always so fun when those guys come over to the comedy world.
Exactly.
We talk about Carol O'Connor and All in the Family as Archie Bunker, and Red from that 70s show, Kurtwood Smith. Yeah. There's something about those John Lithgow even, I think, was originally pretty serious. Raising Cain.
It's so weird. I can't remember him as really
Leslie Nielsen.
Except as, if you ever watch Dexter, the Trinity Killer. Yes, he was definitely a bit more serious there, and there's been some notables, but I always remember him from Third Rock.
Yeah. Oh, and then you can't forget Doris.
Yes, which I love the whole the ongoing joke with Doris. The fact of Doris, played by Doris Grau, is also Lunch Lady Doris from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, okay, well, let's give her another Doris role as the makeup lady Doris here
on The Simpsons too. I think they said she was like a script supervisor, and they just loved her voice, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to play the Lunch Lady?" So it's like, what the fuck? But actually, one of my favorite jokes, because we've covered Night Court, and it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Did you see the episode where they made the Night Court reference with her?
No, I didn't.
Jay because she's constantly chain smoking, right? That's all she does. She got that deep voice, and he goes,
like Selma.
Doris. He goes, Doris, we need to talk about your smoking, and she's like, what do you want to talk about it? And he's like, how can I put this delicately? Did you see what happened to any of the bailiffs on Night Court? Because they both died of lung cancer. I was like, oh, they were both gravelly old women who died of lung cancer. Yeah. And I was like, that's fucking funny. That's a deep cut joke that probably most people didn't get.
Yeah, I'm wondering which episode that was because I missed that one.
It was the one where he thinks that she's his mother, like he's adopted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't watch that one.
A lot of my favorite little gags had to do with her. I think it was the same episode where they're talking about her age, and she's like, "You're right, Jay. I'm getting old." He goes, "No, you're not that old." And it just look up, and there's just vultures circling her at all times. Just
on the way out, starting to smell like death.
Yeah, she was also one of my favorite characters.
And then also the great Tress MacNeille make some vocal things on here, particularly Humphrey the Hippo. But yeah, Tress is a
Ma from Futurama. Mom. Or whatever.
Yep. Yes, Mom from Futurama.
Many voices on The Simpsons.
Yes, multiple voices on The Simpsons. Yeah. What's his name? Principal Charmer's mom on The Simpsons.
Is that
and
Agnes?
Also,
or no, you mean Skinner's mom?
Skinner, Principal Skinner,
not Super Nintendo Chalmers.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got the two mixed up for a second.
Super Nintendo Chalmers? No, not him.
Yes, Super Nintendo Chalmers, but also Dot from Animaniacs.
Oh yeah, actually, one of the other writers we should mention, since you brought up Principal Skinner, was what's his name? Ken Keeler. He's known for writing many great episodes of The Simpsons, but he also wrote probably the most hated episode of The Simpsons of all time, The Principal and the Pauper, which is the episode where you find out Principal Skinner is not the real Skinner.
Yeah, that's that's not canon, is it?
If you ask Matt Groening, no. But he was a writer on this show. I think he did 14 episodes, I want to say it said, and then he wrote a lot of great episodes of The Simpsons in like seasons 6 through 9, I believe. He wrote the New York episode, which did that ever get unbanned? Great. I don't know.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Did they ever unban the New York episode of The Simpsons? Because then they ban it because of like the World Trade Center stuff. I'm
not sure. You know what? I haven't watched that one in a while, but it's like I remember it vividly, and that's with the tire boot on Homer's car.
Yeah, he's got to run up and down the towers.
Yeah, so yeah, there was lots of talent with the show.
Also, Stephen Levitan, which we'll probably talk about some more of his shows. He created, or at least executive produced, such great shows as Modern Family.
Nice.
Just Shoot Me.
Also very nice.
Greg the Bunny.
That was a show.
Stacked, that great show with Christopher Lloyd and Pamela Anderson.
And did you notice, starting in season 2 of The Critic, you had, of course, the character of Alice, the love interest there.
Yeah.
Played by Park Overall, who was a main character on Empty Nest, the Golden Girls spinoff.
Oh, she was the secretary, right?
What was her name?
God, I forgot. I was trying to pinpoint what I knew her voice from. I want to say she was the secretary at the hospital, right?
I think so. Yeah, Laverne Todd.
God, I forgot about her character until you just said that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and of course the what do you call it, Jay? When you're gonna create a spinoff and you have an episode dedicated to the characters of that spinoff.
A backdoor spinoff.
Oh.
Backdoor pilot.
Yeah, so there was an episode of The Golden Girls where she was on as well.
Oh, was it? There was a backdoor pilot for Empty Nest on Golden Girls, but it wasn't the Empty Nest we know. Right, I wish you were on that episode to talk about that, but yeah, that was an interesting backdoor pilot where it's not even the same characters that end up in the show. But
yeah. But she is one of the characters that does end up in the show.
Well, while you're mentioning spinoffs, did you know this was going to be a spinoff for a very different character of The Simpsons?
No, wait, which character was that?
So get this shit. apparently Matt Groening shut it down pretty quick.
Comic book guy? No.
Yeah. It was pitched. I'm not sure if it was pitched by Al Jean and Mike Reese, but it was pitched at some point that they wanted to do a spinoff of The Simpsons with Krusty the Clown and his kid, where he's a single father in New York.
Oh my God.
And this was originally going to be a Krusty the Clown show. And Matt Groening said, fuck off. No way.
No.
And so, of course, that's why it's produced by Gracie Films, because Jim Brooks was like, hey, why don't you take that idea, though, and develop a new show? And, of course, Jon Lovitz was a pretty beloved guest star as Artie Ziff on The Simpsons. So, yeah, that became The Critic. How weird, though, to think of this with Krusty the Clown. Actually, he had a kid. Was it Drew Barrymore and played his daughter, right?
Oh, God, I think you're right.
She was in one, maybe two episodes.
What's his name? Famous comic Jackie Mason
played his father.
Dad.
That would have been cool if he was also on there. I mean, even imagine they did another spin-off showcase of The Simpsons where you got to see that idea kind of fleshed out. That could have been fun, but.
Well, then again, The Simpsons did also do that episode of the spin-offs, like the Love-Matic Grandpa.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The spin-off showcase. Yeah, that would have been funny on there.
And the variety show where Lisa is replaced.
But yeah, Matt Groening said fuck no. And then actually when The Critic came to Fox,
Matt Groening said no, not no, but I'm not part of this one.
When they put Jay Sherman on the Simpsons episode, he was kind of pissed off at how much effort they were putting into promoting this show on his show. Right. And he was like, and him and Jim Brooks, I guess, got into it over it. And he was like, called him a child. Like, why are you trying to sabotage your own writers, asshole? You know, so, these are your people. Why the fuck are you trying to cripple their own show? But it only lasted 10 episodes on Fox, so I guess he got his way.
Yeah.
Hollywood got problems.
They don't look out for each other, man. They don't look out for each other.
No, man. I got the longest stream.
But that episode of The Simpsons where Jay's on is in the 6th season. If you want to watch it, it's called A Star Is Burns, where they do like the film festival.
Is that in The Simpsons, you say?
Yeah, that's the Simpsons episode.
Yeah, it's like, Smithers, are they saying boo or boo earns? I was saying boo earns.
It's also got the great bit with Barney's short film where he's an alcoholic.
Oh, God, yes.
And Mole Man getting hit in the nuts. Old man gets hit in the groin.
Nuts with football. And the winner is George C. Scott gets hit in the nuts with football.
Yeah.
Of which that was Maurice LaMarche doing the George C. Scott voice.
I believe that crossover episode was also written by Ken Keeler, who wrote for The Critic. So.
And the other interesting guest stars that would be on this show were actual critics.
Yes.
We had Siskel and Ebert on this show. Rex Reed, Gene Shalit, all these guys made multiple appearances on this show.
Actually, the one with Siskel and Ebert is probably my favorite episode of the show.
Yeah, same here.
So many great inside jokes and shit. Yeah. AJ's a little younger. He might be like, who's Siskel? Wasn't it Ebert and Roper? No.
But
the guy who came after.
Siskel and Ebert were the ones that decided to do the thumbs up, thumbs down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a funny episode. Actually, my other favorite episode is probably, I think it's the 2nd episode or something with it's a whole Misery parody with the girl's like an obsessed fan.
Yeah, that was with the projection. Wait, was that the projectionist or was that the other one?
She was a projectionist, yeah.
Yeah.
She fucking ties him up in the bed and she keeps drugging him.
No, not only does she tie him up in the bed, she ties him up
with film. Yeah. He goes, oh, you're one of those obsessed fans. I love it. He's so sad and lonely. He's like, oh, you want to kill me? Awesome. But you're going to sleep with me again, right? Yeah, I was kind of getting annoyed with all the dating shit. Because honestly, there's a lot of dating episodes in the first season, and they're not really that interesting. Like, I think all the side characters are much more fun to hang out with than the love interests. So,
well, I did like Alice in the second.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say is,
yeah,
that was a character that was added that I liked because it took away all that dating nonsense and it gave him kind of like a building of a relationship, which is cool.
Right.
I think they just really wanted to revamp the show and make it more of a traditional family thing. They're like, oh, let's get him a girlfriend and she's going to have a little precocious kid because every show needs a little precocious child. Marty's too old and fat. We can't use him.
Although I love Marty going to the UN school, but like the other children, such as the boy from Easter Island.
yeah.
With the giant rock head.
AJ, I think it's time you tell us your feelings about this show.
None. It was hard to watch, man. I've been telling you. Well, there's 23 episodes, right?
Yeah. Did you watch all of them?
I told you 2 weeks ago, whenever you hit me up for this, I was going to get through all of them. You
did watch all of them?
I got through 3 episodes before I wanted to like. I'm so like I get so like the so many things are like from the Simpsons. You got the Simpsons, and then you get Family Guy. There's so many shows that are like that where they just kind of cut off to clips, and then it hits you with like a joke from out of left field or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, this predates Family Guy though.
This definitely, yeah. So I understand where like the premise of all this stuff kind of gets, but like what made it hard for me, and it wasn't the jokes. I thought the jokes were funny. It's at some point where you need to know the references in order to get a lot of the jokes.
Yes,
true. Yeah,
which
they're a little older.
I like that because then that makes you actually look like it makes you want to delve into it, and you need to do your research about some stuff. But no, I watched 3 episodes. I just watched the very last episode, and I'm good. I'm good.
Well, actually, I think the last episode's a clip show, so you got clips at least of.
It is, yeah. So, like, man, but no, I think I would actually go if they were to update something like this and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd probably watch it.
They kind of did. I couldn't find it though. Did you see that, Nick?
I'm sorry?
They did update it. Did you see that?
That they had made a webtoon series.
There's a Flash animated 3rd season where it's like 3-minute shorts they did in 2020.
What?
In 2020, and I couldn't find it to watch anywhere.
I know. I was looking and I'm like,
there's 10 3-minute shorts. You know, I wonder if it was like Quibi or something. One of those. Remember Quibi?
Oh my God. Dude, does anyone out there remember Quibi?
You know, the only thing I ever watched on there is the only reason I ever downloaded it was they brought back Reno 911 on Quibi as 10-minute episodes.
Oh, shit.
So I had to check that out. But other than that, yeah. And that's sad too because those are just gone now. There's like a bunch of episodes of Reno that they're only 10 minutes long, but they're just gone. Like what?
Damn.
Reno was everything.
Reno 911 is one of the funniest shows of all time. But that was one of their flagship things is we're going to bring back some of these shows that have died and bring them back in bite-sized morsels. And I guess they were ahead of the game on that one because now everyone loves short content. But then people were like, I want to watch a whole episode. Fuck you. So they were just too early.
Well,
they were too early.
The modern audience.
He wasn't at an all-time peak yet, so nobody was on the spectrum quite as much as they are now.
I'm still waiting on my test results to find out if I'm on the spectrum.
Whoever is handling your test is on the spectrum, which is why you're not getting it. I set him over here.
Oh, man. Oh, so, yeah, you'd mentioned some of the jokes being you have to know the time. This is a very 90s show. This is...
Oh, very.
Yeah.
This is, you really do have to have your finger on the pulse of pop culture in the 90s to understand a lot of these. Luckily, that was my childhood, so I knew pretty much every reference, thank God. But here's just a few of the people that are constantly being jabbed, which makes you go, wow, this is so of the time. We had constant jabs at Howard Stern.
Yep.
Al Jolson.
Maurice LaMarche.
Many fucking jabs about Al Jolson, of all people. Stallone and Schwarzenegger were constantly parodied, as well as Marlon Brando, as you mentioned, Orson Welles.
Correct.
Oh, a Jurassic Park. Actually, it was funny. There was a joke where they did Jurassic Park 2, and they basically called Jurassic World about the super intelligent raptors.
Yes.
He goes, Jurassic Park 2, Revenge of the Raptors. And they're like, these raptors are too smart. And they're like unlocking doors and using keys.
Not even just unlocking doors. It's like, okay, they slide a newspaper under the thing, push the key through, pull the key.
And the whole time I was going, wow, this is as dumb as Jurassic World. Just as dumb as Jurassic World. You called it. Good work. Yeah. Oh, they also remember when Bootylicious got added to the dictionary? There's a joke that Duke makes about calling Webster's dictionary to have Dukealicious added to the dictionary.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, that was before Bootylicious. The world's just stealing from the Critic because they think they can, I guess. I don't know.
The Critic makes, the world takes.
That's right. See, AJ, this is a very influential show for 23 episodes.
Yeah, man.
I did like the Godzilla parody too, or the little Asian boys. Like, you know, in the movies, there was always like a little Asian boy who can like communicate with Godzilla. And
he can't hear. He says he wants to.
He's happy to meet you. He can't wait to meet you.
Breakfast.
Yeah. And
it's like, oh, okay. And then it's like, oh.
And he eats them, and there's like, maybe that was eat you for breakfast. Huh.
And of course, as I'm sure you've seen the Godzilla versus Kong, and the X, and that the young young kid,
girl,
doing the sign language with Kong.
Quick side note, you know, I was okay with the boring like Bryan Cranston Godzilla, and even Kong Skull Island I liked.
Yeah,
there was the first Godzilla versus Kong. I was like, okay, whatever. I watched that new Empire one the other day.
Yeah,
that was the dumbest fucking movie I've seen in a long time. When you start a movie with fucking giving King Kong a root canal and shit, like, what the fuck are we doing here? Eat my ass. That was the dumbest goddamn thing I had seen in a long time. Anyway, side note, sorry.
No, it's okay.
The movie parodies are one of the funniest parts of the show. Do you remember the Snowman, the Rain Man 2 Snowman?
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
Definitely melting.
What?
Definitely melting.
What? There's a Rain Man 2, the Snowman.
Yeah, so he has like, oh, the Rain Man 2, the Snowman. And he's sitting there. He's literally a snowman watching TV. And my favorite scene in Rain Man is when he's like, I gotta watch Wapner. I got Wapner's on. I gotta watch Wapner. And
4 o'clock.
Yeah, what is he saying on there? I got Northern Exposure. I gotta watch Northern Exposure.
Northern Exposure.
Gotta see the moose. Gotta see the moose.
Gotta see the moose.
What the fuck? Oh, so fucking stupid, but so funny. He also called out, he goes, I think he's having a heart attack or something in one episode, and as he's dying, he goes, must live to see Tom Cruise win an Oscar. Well, he still hasn't won a fucking Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also loved the Trump joke in the pilot.
Oh God, yes.
When they're dancing in front of Trump Tower and it says now in foreclosure.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Did you have any favorite jokes, AJ? Specific jokes from the 4 episodes you watched?
No. No, I did not. No, I did not. I thought that they put this man in such a terrible situation. Like, it's him, his son. Like, right off the jump, he loses his toupee.
Actually,
it was the only thing this man had going for him. Was like, he was like, yes, I can cover this. And then it was like a pigeon took it or some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
that's in the theme song. This might be the first show we've covered where I've actually been to the locations from the opening theme. Rockefeller Plaza, where they do, you know, you've probably been there, I'm sure.
Yep.
It was like weird.
Well, it's a hop, a skip, and a jump from me.
Right.
So.
But I was like, weird. The animated show is the first one I've been to the actual locations they talk about.
But that just like the Simpsons, though, did you notice also the like ongoing gags of the? It's like, oh, okay, at the beginning of the Critic, it's like the phone call will be something, weird.
At first, I thought they were trying to reuse the same animation almost. They're like, let's just put him on the phone so we can change the vocals and not use the. But I think he did have different expressions. And then the clip in the movie at the end of the song.
Yes.
Which
and that was the other piece before he goes, it stinks.
And I believe they dropped that in the second season.
I think they used it occasionally, but not every episode.
Yeah. It was like the Simpsons couch gag. Yeah. They just, but in the second season, I didn't see any. The theme song, honestly, is not that intriguing, so I did start skipping it after a few minutes.
Yeah, it was weird.
Japanese animation, man. It's
like you said, the theme, Alf Clausen, not Alf Clausen. Alf Clausen did the main music, but the theme was done by Hans Zimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
I would like to give Tubi props though, because when you skip the theme song, it actually skips to the new movie clip. It's still in the theme song every time.
Oh, excellent.
So they knew not to just skip it because there's new stuff to see, which that's pretty good for these fucking streaming things. Because sometimes they'll skip into the first act and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I also liked the constant jabs at, was it Ted Turner with the colorizing movies and remember the episode with the Philip Vision? Philip Vision where he's editing. Duke Phillips is editing movies to make them happier. That was a fun episode where he thinks he's dying. Mm-hmm. And he goes, if I want to change the ending of Citizen Kane to make him say Schwinn instead of Rosebud, I'll do it. And then as he's dying, he's like, Rosebud, I mean Schwinn. Yeah, that was a fun, stupid gag.
But as we see, Duke does live on.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So Jay Sherman creates a serum that can cure his ailment, and he's just going to stay a film critic.
I know. And the great thing is it's like he had the serum. He's testing it on what was it, a gerbil or something or other, and it's not working. And then he sneezes, which changes the serum. And it's like, that's what makes it work.
I love the constant jokes about him being gay. He was like, oh, you got a date with a guy tonight? He goes, again, I'm not gay. And he's like, oh, that's weird. But he has to tell him every day that he's not gay. Like even when he goes, he saves his life and he's like, I'll do anything. And he goes, anything? And he goes, oh, God, make it fast. And he starts unbuttoning his shirt. He goes, I don't want to sleep with you.
That's wild.
What do you call it? When in the second season, when he and Alice go to the one party with Duke there, it's like they're dressed as Marge and Homer, and he's like, "So what are you dressed as? Bald gay guy?" Yeah, that's it's like, oh, the winner for best costume, Jay Sherman as bald gay guy.
There was some good jabs at the network when they switched over to Fox too. Like the first phone call, I think it's the first episode back when they changed over to Fox. And he's like, "Hey Jay, it's the head of Fox." He goes, "Can you do me a favor? Would you change your name to Homer?" He's like, maybe get a blue wig like Marge." It's like anything because they wanted so bad to make this the new Simpsons.
Like you said, the in jokes of Fox and that. It's like, yeah, you're watching the Fox network. Shame on you.
Yeah. When he first meets Alice, she goes, "You look familiar." And he goes, "Well, I'm, a famous movie critic. I had a show on ABC for like a week." Because the first season was on ABC.
The first season was on ABC.
Yeah.
It's funny that they flipped that in such a short time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's probably the same animation studio because, like you said, they ship overseas back then. I'm pretty sure these were all still hand drawn at that time.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think what where did they used to say the Simpsons got shipped off to? Like South Korea or something? Didn't they have a weird like
to be animated?
Yeah, it was something like that. I want to say it was like South Korea was animating the early Simpsons or something. Like,
oh, and they're yellow.
Whoa, dude.
Oh. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are canceled.
That's fucking funny. But no,
it's color grading.
If you see, I think it was one of the early commentaries. They said the Simpsons were yellow. That wasn't their choice. It was like actually one of the animators that had shipped back an incorrect coloring one time, and they were like, "Fuck it, that looks kind of cool. It's different." And they,
let's go with it.
So it wasn't even like Matt Groening's idea to make them yellow. They were like, "Oh yeah, that works. Let's do it."
That's wild. Well, for me, it's because it was shipped out to South Korea, so you know, I'm keeping it.
Man, just think what could have happened if fucking Nigeria was doing animation back then. Shoot,
man,
could have been groundbreaking.
You guys are all up in black.
It is weird. The Simpsons have black characters and then yellow characters. The white people are yellow. Actually, the Asians in the Simpsons are white. Did you ever notice that? They're like tan. They're like Caucasian colored.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Anywho. So AJ, you hated this show.
Yeah, was not a fan. Especially as far as keeping my entertainment going.
Do you think it's the pacing? I can see for me the pacing of the show, even though it's rapid fire jokes, it has this kind of slow, monotone, relaxing vibe that I equate to things for me like oh god, what was the therapist show? Jonathan Katz.
Oh, Dr. Katz.
Dr. Katz.
Crazy.
I kind of feel like that vibe comes out of this show. Is that, you get that?
I don't know, but what I would like to say is, yeah, it is like a lot of, so that's the thing about when it comes to TV shows like that, when they're just firing jokes at you after 30 seconds, another joke. I try to find the storyline throughout all of it. And that's my thing, is that, if it's a good storyline, it'll keep me entertained from season 1 to the end last season, So with this,
you mean like a storyline that goes through the entire run of the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
which these animated shows don't typically have. No, they're more of a one and done. Yeah.
Yeah, they keep up with the political views and stuff, and then they just kind of go, kind of like South Park until they got to what season is it? PC, the PC stuff.
Yeah, when they started doing the through seasons, yeah, like
then they got an actual storyline, and I was like, oh man, yeah. But it was entertaining. I'm not gonna say it's not entertaining. It was just that for me, the more shows that I watch, I need a storyline. And even if it is a comedy, like you can make what was that show? The New Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. If it was a cartoon, still hilarious. Like that doesn't take away any of its creativity. I just think when you're just fishing out jokes after 15 seconds, for me, it's annoying.
Well, and this is heavily influenced by that time at The Simpsons. That was the background jokes and the pop culture. That was what they were working with. That's those guys.
Right.
It makes sense.
Actually, this show reminds me a lot. Remember Duckman? This has a similar vibe to like Duckman with Jason Alexander. Mm-hmm. Another very kind of a monotone, jokey. Yeah, I get very similar vibes. Actually, I that show's got to be on DVD. I should pick that up and rewatch that. I bet you there's a box set out there.
I remember liking that one too. It had a little more dark humor to it too.
Actually, AJ, I think I like this episodic Simpsons or South Park better than the overall. If I got to spend one more episode at fucking Tegrity Farms of South Park,
oh god,
I'm done. It was funny the first 10 episodes. They've had fucking 5 years at Tegrity Farms. Move on, dude. Move on. fucking
Randy is the main character.
He is now. He really is the main character now of South Park. Yeah.
I don't know how they did it, but it was
Which is, I love Randy, but I'm sick of that fucking pot farm, dude. I'm over it.
There's not even a pot farm anymore. I think it's a cocaine farm, isn't it?
They lost their integrity? What the fuck, dude?
It's just that's some pure shit.
Oh man.
AJ, do you have a particular animated show that you were like fan of? Any of them?
No. So if you know me, my background is in Japanese animation. So yeah, I watch a lot of animation. But I mean, as far as the U.S. goes, probably South Park. I think South Park would be up there. That and Stripperella.
Oh God, Stripperella.
Was that the Pam Anderson one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pam. It ends. Yeah, that was a creation of Stan Lee.
Was it really? I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think somebody goes, "Hey Stan, you want to make $1 million? Yeah, sure. Put my name on it."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm 100 years old. Put my name on it. Give me the money. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go have dinner with my wife.
Yeah, we already went over like Futurama. Futurama was huge at the time.
Some of the same writers as this, so you know.
Dude, you know what? I think you had said something about Mr. Franco. You said Dot from the Animaniacs.
Mm-hmm. Trust McNeil.
You guys have no idea. Like, you do have an idea because you guys were born obviously before me, and I was like start of the 90s. But to now have it like to where I can understand some of the jokes that were in these cartoons for us kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Even some of the early Looney Tunes are crazy, the references.
Looney Tunes you see it all the time online too. You're just like, I can't believe they were having us look at all these TV shows. You see, I knew for just right off the bat, like I did not mess with Ren and Stimpy.
I gotcha.
Don't know what it was.
Well, the creator's like a pedophile, so I guess you.
It's that.
Yeah, that'd be.
Man, I couldn't deal with Ren. I couldn't deal with Ren and Stimpy. That was too much. But a lot of these TV shows were just. Yeah, they were just.
He was a pedophile or a rapist, one of the two. But did you see when they brought back Ren and Stimpy on Spike TV and it was even more disgusting? It was fucking disgusting, dude. It had like a disclaimer on it. They were trying to be even more edgy because I guess Nickelodeon didn't let him do the shit he wanted to do the first time.
Right.
What did you want to do the first time?
Well, if you watch the Spike one, you'll know because there's literally tits and shit all over it.
Yeah, it's.
Here you go, AJ.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Ren and Stimpy figures that sit right here on my desk.
You idiot!
Steepy, you idiot!
Everyone knows it's log.
Man.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from though, AJ. With some of the stuff there. Yeah, where the Japanese anime excels at particular things, and the American animation.
Most of the difference is I feel like we have more of a political voice in our. Oh,
very much so.
And the Japanese aren't like that, but
no,
that's completely different.
Are they allowed to talk about their government?
What'd you say?
Are they allowed to talk about their government? Or are they like China or no?
I'm not entirely sure. So.
It's like North Korea. Yeah. Imagine you write a fucking show. You go to pitch it to some fucking North Korean TV station. They just go, shh, blow your fucking head off. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you mention my name? Oh, weird. Sorry.
How?
The fuck?
But did you see Avatar: The Last Airbender, JJ?
No.
You didn't see that one?
But you're talking about the animated show, not the.
You're talking about the amazing M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I was going to say not that thing, right?
We can have a whole other episode on that. So, they need to stop funding this man. They need to stop funding. He can't keep getting away with this.
And what was the twist? What was the twist at the end of Airbender?
Man. No, but so like what you were just saying about them being able to like talk about their government. There's an episode or there's a whole book of the Earth Kingdom, and originally our MCs they go to a house and then they have like this tour guide. Her name's Julie, right? But then she ends up in trouble, and they replace her with another.
Why did I just picture
Julie.
Bruce Lee with a yarmulke?
She has
Julie,
but it's another Julie. It's another Julie, and so they have like an underground, like mafia basically that's controlling all of the citizens to make sure that they aren't talking badly about the queen. They're not talking badly about the politics going on inside the wall and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that just reminded me of when you said, are they allowed to talk about their government? So.
Oh.
That's one of our greatest gifts in American animation, though, satire. Because
yes.
People don't realize, even back in the Flintstones days, they were satirizing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Simpsons, or the Flintstones had the cigarette ads we always talk about.
Winston, yes.
There was the joke in the Critic about there was a cigarette ad of something in here. And the guy goes, Jay's like, we can't promote cigarettes to kids. And he goes, well, if we can't promote cigarettes to kids, what the hell are they going to do after they have sex? And he goes, what? He goes, oh, if you're going to tell me that smoking and sex isn't okay for children, well, arrest me right now. And it cuts to him in the back of the cop car.
Yeah, take that guy away.
Oh.
So, I mean, anything else you want to touch on the Critic, my friend?
Again, I think I liked the second season better.
With Alice
on
and
the
younger
Critic.
girl?
The Fox season, it just, like you said, we got rid of the constant, dating things, where it was just like, oh, okay, we get it.
Well, yeah, and you had more of him, trying to build a relationship with this character. And you actually kind of felt like she dug him, which is good. Like,
yes.
She felt very real, actually, as far as an animated character.
Yeah, it was actually a more grounded character than, his dad, which was a complete Looney Tune. And
Yeah. I'm not wearing pants. So, yeah, there was always, his dad had the craziest stupid shit.
Yeah, and his dad reminded me of a Family Guy joke where it's just like a non sequitur. It's like, yeah, I'm not wearing pants, or like he's just walking down the hall with ducks, crouching and flapping his arms, quack, quack, like.
Yeah, he walks into his study, and he's like an inventor, I guess. I don't know. He owns all these factories, so I don't know why the fuck he's inventing whatever, but he's got just like a bunch of babies on like a trapeze spinning around.
Yeah, like spinning around.
And he's like, what is the point of this experiment? And he's just like, oh. Yeah, just weird shit. Just weird for weird sake, because you're an animated show and they want to do weird shit.
Yeah.
But the mom, even like the mom doesn't give a fuck about him. And and then there's an episode where he's like, he gets hit in the head with something and he's in the hospital. And she comes in and she goes, I've been here for 2 hours and I realized the thought of you dying made me sad. And he goes, oh, you do love me. She had to contemplate his death to realize that, I guess I love my son. Yeah.
But for the overall, what would you say, Jay, about the Critic? We do know what AJ's thought is on it.
Yeah, AJ, quick rating 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest. What is your rating for the Critic?
I'll give it a 6.5. I think I'm more interested in finishing the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's a 6.5.
Okay, that's higher than I thought you were gonna give it. So for me, I think it's a good show. I don't think it's an amazing show. I think it's a great product of its time. I remember liking it when it was on. I remember really enjoying it. I think I was in high school when that box set came out, and I watched it through and was like, oh, this is great. I like Jon Lovitz, even though I've heard some shitty things about what a not nice guy he is, but I've been told don't ever see Jon Lovitz in concert more than once because he's been doing the same show for 40 years.
Oh my God.
Really?
Apparently he's never updated his stand-up act. And the man owns a comedy club, so interesting. It is what it is. But yeah, I still like Jon. I always like him in cameos when he pops up. He's always the same character, of course, but
true.
He's one of those guys. He's in a lot of like the Sandler movies and shit, and City Slickers 2. I remember liking him in stuff like that.
Hell, he was League of Their Own.
A League of Their Own. I think they said that was the movie that he did right after SNL when he left, and that kind of is the reason he got his own show like this.
Correct.
So, yeah, he's always funny, and this show's fun. I don't think I could rewatch it on a regular basis, especially with there only being 23 episodes. But yeah, it's fun.
Right.
It's fine.
I want to say it's like good, not great.
Yeah.
You know, like definitely product of the times. And you do see some of that, you know, like as AJ brought up, some of that stuff that you see in current animation, you know, U.S. animation, like, you know, particularly like the Family Guy style.
If you have no knowledge of 90s pop culture, you're not going to enjoy this show. If you are up to your ears steeped in 90s pop culture, you're probably going to enjoy this show a lot.
Correct.
Because I don't know how many times they can reference William Shatner, and these kids probably go, who the fuck is that? Why the fuck? Who's Howard Stern? Who's the fucking William Shatner? What the Orson Welles? I barely knew who he was back in the 90s. I knew who he was, but just barely.
And again, I do love the call out for I think gone over this, but the Orson Welles when he was doing the commercials and he was doing also voiceover commercials. Just look it up on the internet. There's some great content there.
And in this one, he's doing a commercial for something else, and he keeps switching over to fish sticks.
Well, like there was the fish sticks one, the frozen peas. Yeah, there was multiple ones, and it's just like him giving direction to the directors. Like no one says, you know, like in July. You know, it's like what? But Maurice LaMarche, basically his to be on the Animaniacs as the brain, his whole audition was doing the commercials as Orson Welles.
Yeah.
And they allude to it in a couple of the episodes here with the Orson Welles scenes.
What do you want to do tonight, brain?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Insanity. They don't know that they're lab rats.
Where does this fall on your list, Nick?
Actually, this falls. I have it at 35.
35 out of what are we at? 53.
Yes.
So as we cover these shows, AJ, we rank them in a tier list of our favorite to least favorite. So his is 35 out of 53. Mine I popped at pretty close to yours, 33. Mine is right between Kids in the Hall, Death Comes to Town, and Car 54. Where are you?
Got it. Yeah. Mine's a little under some of the British ones that we watched. Toast of London, Spaced. Yeah, like a little down from that. I put The Critic.
I have Toast of London way up at 17 still.
Wow. I probably have to resort my list. I think I'd say that every time, and I haven't resorted it.
You've been saying it for 3 years, Nick.
Yeah, sort of.
When you do it, I'll put a banner up. All right.
There we go.
I wanted to bring up, we had a few deaths recently, and we don't usually have so many bang. Oh, fuck. There's another one added to the list. Hold on. AJ, we're looking for a new co-host.
I'm not a witness. Yeah. A spot just opened.
We've been trying to really appeal to the ethnic market. If you could help out with that.
Hey, we're going for a more, what do they call it? Urban look.
Oh,
I
man.
hate terminology so much. It's so funny.
Next week we're covering Last Airbender. So are you in for that?
M. Night Shyamalan.
We can do an episode of Sitcom My Grave for Nick.
What was that last piece?
We can do an episode of Sitcom My Grave as we do for you.
There we go.
But no, I just wanted to mention a few of these because weird that all these keep just happening. I mean,
yeah.
We had the death of Michelle Trachtenberg, who I think was a lot of guys in my generation's early crushes. We covered Clarissa Explains It All, which I think was her first TV gig. She got big on Buffy. She was Buffy the Vampire Slayer's sister. She was on a couple other shows. Maybe we'll cover it someday. Pete and Pete on Nickelodeon.
Oh, right. Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Actually, that might be the one Nickelodeon show, Nick, that you would actually like. I don't know. I think that show's quirky enough. You might enjoy it. You're like, I'll hold my judgment.
Yeah, I know. Is it as good as Clarissa? Sorry.
It's better. I think it's better. Yeah.
Okay. Phew.
But she died complications from a liver transplant.
Yeah.
Oh.
And a show that I think we can cover, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Space Ghost died, man.
Yes.
Yes.
George
the
Lowe.
Voice of Space Ghost. Yes.
George Lowe. That show was just funnier than shit. Underrated, I think, by this generation. I don't think a lot of people talk about it. But my God, that show was funnier than hell. Who parodies a talk show, throws it on Cartoon Network, and is just that good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Again, that's man.
Yeah. It's like you had Space Ghost Coast to Coast and what was the other one? What was it? Comic? Oh no, Cartoon Planet, I think it was called, with also Space Ghost, Brack and Zorak and all them. Yeah,
Brack had it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Brack Show.
Brack Show. That
was a great one with the great Andy Merrill as Brack.
So I didn't see how he died. I didn't. But damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
He also did the voices for the video games too, where the Cartoon Network games where Space Ghost appears. So that's cool. He was doing it in other medias. And
awesome.
then the big weird one, Gene Hackman. Did you watch this shit?
Yeah.
Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog all found dead. I haven't heard any details yet.
I know they were, like investigating initially, like, was it like a carbon monoxide leak? But from all intents and purposes, so far, what I've heard, it's not.
Yeah, and there's no sign. They weren't shot. They weren't stabbed. They weren't beaten. No. They're saying so, like something strange.
Rat poison.
The weird theory I heard that kind of makes the most sense to me is they think it might have been like he died and she was so close she took the pills and took her own life. Maybe the dog got into the pills and died. I don't know. But it sounded like the dog was in the closet dead. She's laying in the bathroom
was it
floor.
Closet or was it like a like a cage thing?
There was two other dogs on the property that were alive, so I don't know.
Yes,
it just seems strange that
two other dogs.
If somebody was going to wipe them all out, it seemed like they'd have taken the other dogs too. But I don't know. It's fucking weird. But I mean, Gene Hackman, one of the greatest actors of probably all time, I would say. He retired almost 20 years ago. Remember the last movie he did with your boy?
Moose Jaw?
Did you say Moose Jaw? Welcome to Mooseport.
Mooseport.
With your boy Ray
you know
Romano.
what, I'm thinking of Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I was like, Moose Jaws. That movie hasn't even been made yet. No, Welcome to Mooseport.
Welcome to Mooseport, yeah.
That movie was so bad. No, he had to retire. He was like, fuck this.
Is that like the Sean Connery? Like it's like after League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like, I've had it.
Yeah. His last movie was with Ray Romano, though. So, yeah, interesting. But I mean, I loved him from, of course, like Unforgiven, Enemy of the State. Actually, one of my favorite comedic performances of him is in Heartbreakers. Did you ever see that movie with Sigourney Weaver and Jennifer Love Hewitt?
No, I didn't see that
one. And Jason Lee.
Oh, okay. I got to check that one out.
Ray Liotta's in it.
Sweet.
It's kind of a romantic comedy, but it is funnier than shit. Sigourney Weaver and Jennifer Love Hewitt are like Black Widows. Like they marry men and they wait for him to die and then they take their money. And Sigourney marries Gene Hackman and he's the most old, decrepit, smoking motherfucker. Like he just got like tar dripping from his face and shit. And they constantly think he's dying and they poke him with a stick and they're like, damn it. But yeah, that's a great comedic performance. Oh, and of course Get Shorty. So.
Oh yes. Look at me, Jay. Look at me.
So I just wanted. I've been following that case, waiting for interesting updates. But yeah, rest in peace to those three. There was someone else who died too, I think. But man, weird shit. AJ, plug whatever you need to plug. Socials, your butthole, whatever you need to plug.
Just a second.
Got his leg up, folks.
So, fevers. Get your soup in.
Oh yes. Thank you for joining us through your ailment today.
Right.
I told him 2 weeks ago when I booked him, I said, if you cancel, you're dead to me. So here he is.
Oh boy.
JJ carries a lot of weight around here. So I was, you know me, I told my boss, I was like, I'm not working on any Thursdays for the next 3 months. So, my social medias are Life of Sabin, LIFEOFSABIN. I am a business developer for Rebel Media, Rebel Enterprises. You can find us at Rebel Media Official on Instagram, Facebook, and all social platforms. I'm pretty sure.
I've seen some of your amazing photography coming out of there.
Yeah. We got a few really nice photographers. Jason Arntz being the main. Alexis Bourne, she's doing a really good job herself there. And then we have a lot of musicians that we're kind of working with right now. Obviously, we're trying to build our own resume to work with some local businesses, whether it be professional headshots or, we got a director in here that needs a few scenes in a studio. That'd be wonderful.
You're working with amazing talent soon, like JJ Bidwell. I hear he's pretty good.
Damn right. That guy.
That piece of shit.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's been great. I've been working there for, kind of on and off, but really as a side type thing for like the last 2 years, I would like to say. But this year I've delved into it a whole lot more and trying to actually get some events planned at our studio, get some more musical artists to work with us as well. And yeah, kind of figuring out how to navigate myself throughout all this static. And what I'm actually finding is that everybody knows each other. So you got to figure out who's going to let you get a little bite of the pie. So then you can have a bigger bite of the pie. So,
especially in West Michigan, you go to any of these mixers or events, you're like, I know everybody here.
Yeah.
I've been doing this shit for 20 years. I know all of you fools. Hate that guy, like that guy. That one's all right. The kind of shit.
Yeah. I'm at the beginning of that right now. So give me 10 years. I'm sure we'll be fine. But yeah, you want to look us up? Rebel Media would be awesome.
Links will be below.
AJ Sabin, Life of Sabin.
Cool, man. Appreciate you joining us. Maybe if we do any Japanese shows, we'll hit you up. I don't know. I've never seen a Japanese sitcom, so maybe that would be interesting to cover.
So here's the thing is that I don't know if the Japanese sitcoms are any good, but I know the Korean dramas are really good. Those ones are really good. And I don't mean just like the Squid Games.
No.
I'm waiting for the third season for that to come out. It's really awesome. But yeah, South Koreans got the drama on a lock right now. It's pretty awesome.
I played Squid Games and Call of Duty. Does that count?
Did you die?
Oh yeah, they have that one where you got to walk and then you stop when the girl's singing, and if you move 1 inch, just shot right.
Is it really?
Oh jeez.
Yeah. I'll make it like violent.
Dude, I didn't even move my character. I moved my fucking camera, and it's the first person, so I was like, shit, it probably moves your head.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just fucking instantly shot.
Did it really? It zipped you up.
It's like, oh yeah, I guess that's probably. Whoops.
That makes sense.
My bad. Anyway, if you want to follow this show and learn about any of the other 52 shows we've covered so far, you can find us Sitcom My Face, a situation comedy podcast on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.com/sitcommyface. You can @ me on most social media @ BidwellFog, BIDWELL, or Nick @ NetNick191. You can also email us, sitcommyface@gmail.com. If you got a show you want us to cover, make sure you leave that comment. Like, share, subscribe, all that bullshit.
Watch us! Listen!
I'll tell you what, if you don't watch next time, I'm taking my pants off. Then we're all in trouble.
I'm not wearing any pants.
I'm not wearing any pants. Good night, boys.